So, uh, let's talk about what do interviewers see when you are actually in your final year and you're looking to land interviews and finally crack interviews. And I will want to cover this from the experience and from the standpoint of a first year in engineering college, so that by the time you are in your fourth year, you're not so lost. मैंने ये देखा है कि रिक्रूटर्स मोस्टली कैंडिडेट्स को इसलिए रिजेक्ट करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ पुअर कम्युनिकेशन. They say that the interviewee has not been able to communicate their ideas very clearly in very fluent English, um, and that they have fumbled on the words that they've said, or on whatever they're trying to say, they haven't been able to say that. The second reason is that students think that interviewers are trying to check their knowledge in a way that you should know DSA in and out, for example, right? Or you should know um, any mathematical question or a guesstimate question in and out. I don't think that is the question. I've taken a lot of interviews. What interviewers always check for is your thinking ability, your thinking approach. Are you able to think correctly given in a problem statement? Are you able to approach it properly? Are you able to make a framework to able to solve a problem? And are you able to put a structure to that and communicate that to us, right? You can learn like exactly what goes on in the industry after you join a job, right? You can learn actually how DSA or how development is actually getting implemented inside of companies after you join the job. In fact, each of these disciplines is so niche, so personalized to every single company. एक कंपनी में भी एक मार्केट प्लेस बना रही है, एक कंपनी में भी एक जोमेटो डिलीवरी ऐप बना रही है, एक कंपनी में भी एक ड्राइविंग ऐप बना रही है, राइट? हर एक कंपनी में जिस तरीके से डेवलपमेंट, जिस तरीके से प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट, जिस तरीके से आर्किटेक्चर डिप्लॉय होगा, वो बहुत अलग होता है. तो कंपनीज को रादर चाहिए कि क्या आप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकते हो, क्या आप कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हो, और क्या आप साथ में अडेप्टेबल हो या नहीं, क्या आप चीज़ों को क्विकली ग्रैब करके, क्या आप चीज़ों को लर्न कर सकते हो या नहीं, आपके पास वो, क्या आप ट्रेनेबल हो या नहीं, राइट? ये 2-3 चीज़ें इंटरव्यूअर गॉज करता है हमेशा. उसको फाइनल आंसर से नहीं होता मतलब, उसको मतलब होता है इस तरीके से क्या तुम बात कर सकते हो, तुमने प्रॉब्लम को सही से अप्रोच करा, और जहाँ गलती हुई क्या तुमने इसमें भी उससे क्वेश्चन पूछ के उस चीज़ को अडाप्ट करा या नहीं करा. और एक रियलिटी चेक और करते हैं, एक मिथ बस्टिंग और करते हैं कि सिर्फ टॉपर बच्चा प्लेस होगा. ऐसा नहीं होता. हमेशा आपका प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस, आपकी कम्युनिकेशन एबिलिटी, आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस आपको इंटरव्यू में ज़्यादा दूर लेके जाता है रादर देन आपके मार्क्स. ऐसा नहीं है, देखो कि यार अगर आपका एक बेसिक कट ऑफ के नीचे ही आप एक बेसिक कट ऑफ से ही नीचे हो, मोस्ट डेफिनेटली इट बिकम्स चैलेंजिंग टू इवन सिट इन इंटरव्यूज, राइट? बिकॉज हर कॉलेज में कट ऑफ्स होती हैं. बट ये समझना ज़रूरी है कि सिर्फ टॉप लेवल मार्क्स लेके अगर आप जाओ और आप कम्युनिकेशन ना कर पाओ, आपके पास प्रोजेक्ट्स ना हो दिखाने को, then it's just as hard to crack jobs as hard it was to get into interviews for lower ranking students, right? So always try to have enough grades, but also enough confidence, enough problem solving ability, enough adaptability when you go into interviews, right? And the second myth I've seen is that students think that they need very big, very decorative internships with very big brand names. That is also not the case. In fact, the interviewers heavily gauge what is the work that you've done wherever you've worked, right? They see that apart from your internship, apart from one of the internships that you've done at one of the companies, what other things have you engaged yourself in, right? Have you only been an academic student, or have you been participating in hackathons? Have you been maybe hosting some sessions outside of hackathons and sessions? Maybe what are the famous YouTube channels that you follow and you make notes and you learn from? They're also maybe trying to see so they also are trying to see that how much self-learning you've done and how much participation you've done, because that is exactly what happens inside of companies, that you join as an individual contributor. This is called being an IC, individual contributor, right? and you join inside of a company and you are put in a team of maybe 5 to 6 people, your job from day one is to learn what other people are doing, and your job is to participate with them in their work, and as a team you guys have to move forward, right? So that is exactly what they're trying to see in your experience as well. So now what is the actual action plan for first year students to be able to build their profiles? पीछे शायद थोड़ा स्लो हो रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, मेरी आवाज़ पे ध्यान दो. First is participate a lot in smaller projects, and build your profile by maybe doing a lot of, say you come from a programming, you see a CS background, right? Go online, participate in hackathons, do lead code, right? So learn this one skill. Second is participate in clubs. Speak up, build your general awareness, get good at communication, get good at speaking out your ideas and putting them in a fluent, coherent format, right? So I think joining clubs is a great way of grooming yourself, and that goes a very long way in being able to crack really good interviews. Like really good companies would really want well-groomed students inside of their companies. Third is that, like, whatever it is that you're doing, keep updating all of these in on your LinkedIn. Not just because someday it's guaranteed that you'll land a job from LinkedIn. That's not the case. But when you see, online surface area is just so huge, right? What 90% of the students miss out on is posting whatever they are doing online for others to see, right? That is, and if you are doing that, right, that is one of the guaranteed ways to get ahead in line versus those 90% students and get seen by other recruiters, by other uh, maybe senior developers, right? And they do look out for students when finally you do land up in interviews. They do look at your LinkedIn, right? They do look at your portfolio of sorts of everything that you've done, right? And LinkedIn keeps a track of that. Cool. So the conclusion is that start building out. So remember that recruiters don't just hire mark sheets. You have to be good at grades, but they're hiring people in the end, right? They're hiring talent in the end that can speak, adapt, communicate, solve problems, right? And participate. Uh, Start building out your resume from the day one that you're in college. Any help that you need, post it in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video on that as well.